So I really didn't want to forget about what the garden looked like here at our first year at the property. This is the garden from last year, 2023, and I never posted a video. This is actually the first long format video I've posted on YouTube, and I just really wanted to get all the details of this garden because it inspired me and I love the way it turned out. It's a pretty wild garden. Here's a view of the first row and the first food tunnel. We've got a wall of tomatoes. Too many tomatoes. There was quite a bit of pruning going on there. Another little wall of tomatoes here. And some nasturtium and marigold underneath with a spoon tomato on the end there. We've got the flower and herb bed here. The dill toppled over there. And a couple grow bags with tomatoes. The spoon tomato here on the end, that's just one bush. And I didn't really prune it to not go over the edges. That plant is crazy. It's the most prolific tomato plant I've ever met. We've got some zinnias mixed in here on the other side of the tomato wall, along with a squash. And, oh no, that wasn't a squash. It was, I think it was some kind of gourd. See, this is why I gotta make the video. Another food tunnel, and at the far bed, there's radish bolting and a bunch of greens, some kale, Swiss chard, some flowers, zinnias. And 2 green stalks there in the garden. Those are awesome. On the other side, there's a patch of sunflowers and pumpkins. This is an awesome view from the back corner where I've just got a bunch of those mini pumpkins sprawling out, which is pretty hard to do on grass. I like the grass in the garden because I really enjoy being barefoot. But it's just impossible to mow. My husband will get in there and mow and weed whack while I'm sort of lifting up vines as I can, but they, as they attach to the ground. So after a while, you just kind of give up. But there's one tiny okra plant there that I think it gave me like 2 okra. I don't think it gets hot enough here. We've got some carrots mixed in there with kale. And the radish that bolted because I wanted to collect some seeds and try the little pods, which were pretty cool. I love that variegated nasturtium. It's my favorite. I think it's the Tip Top Alaska. Chicken food. We didn't end up eating a ton of the Swiss chard, so a lot of that did end up going to the chickens. So I need to learn how to cook with that a little better. Another beautiful nasturtium. It was such a fun garden. It was a little hard to maintain because I just kind of let it get wild. I just wanted to see what things would do naturally. Like that, another tomato plant on the end. We've got the pumpkin patch here. Turned out pretty well. I didn't do anything to avoid pest pressure as far as deer on this end. And they did get one of the pumpkins on the end, you'll see, but these turned out so great. Large pumpkins. I grew maybe like 4 or 5 varieties. And these are the pumpkins that turn green. This is the one that the deer got. I just left it there because I figured they couldn't see the other ones quite yet, and so they'd probably leave them alone. I'm pretty sure that was one of those cheese breeds or whatever for those pumpkins, like New York cheese. Gosh, I can't remember. There's a tiny watermelon that never made it because the hose doesn't quite reach to the end of the garden there. So we got to fix that issue for this year. Long Island cheese, that's the name of the pumpkin. These are some of Sunflower Steve's sunflowers that I grew for the first time last year. I've got some more in the ground this year, and they did well. They're really pretty. Some of them seem to be sort of turning inside out. It's probably something I did wrong. I started those seeds indoors and then transplanted them out. So this year I'm going to start them in the ground and see what happens. More little pumpkins there. I'm just trying to discover them all myself. So some more short little sunflowers. Some of these got to be, I want to say maybe like 10 feet tall. Last year I didn't take a photo, or I didn't have anybody take a photo of me next to them, so I should have done that, but I'll try to remember that this year. It's so hard for me to remember to take photos and everything. But here are some photos from last year that I'll throw in because that's all the video footage that I took. That's the chicken coop. Turned out so good. We planted beans on the backstop, so we called it a bean stop because we do have a baseball field on our property, so that was really fun. This year we're going to plant some other things. I'm thinking of planting moonflowers there actually, so if anybody has experience with moonflowers, let me know what you think of them. They're supposed to get about up to 20-foot vines, so I think that'll cover the backstop pretty well. So just some photos of the sunflower patch. I do love growing zinnias, and I'm expanding to a bunch of other flowers this year to try and sell some cut flowers down at the end of the driveway. So stay tuned for more on that. Just some harvest baskets, and then this little clip of some funny deer. I pulled up with my truck and they didn't care because there's an apple tree back there, or there was, we don't have it anymore. And the deer just trying to get the apples and fighting over them. Thank you so much for watching. I'll just let you watch the rest of the deer video. Goodbye till next time.